right, let's check the connections.
Looks good here. Stop right there. Repairing your own car is illegal. What? That's ridiculous. Hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
Well, good people, we have another little video for you today. And today's topic is going to be the right to repair your vehicle. And according to this, the lobbyists have seemed to won the day because you are no longer allowed to download the proprietary software in these vehicles. So that means that you are now going to have to take it to the dealer in order to get your car scanned or your truck scanned, whatever vehicle you have, whether it's electric, whether it has an engine in it. You have to take it to the dealer. Now, there is Royalty Auto out there, but he said he pays about $15,000 a year to have that proprietary software. But according to this, that's going to change. So we're going to have to see what happens now, because President Trump just signed that petition. And in that petition, you are allowed to repair your own vehicles. That's not the problem. What the problem is that they will not sell you that proprietary software. That's the problem. And that reminds me of this video that we're going to watch. It's really crazy because in order just to get the oil pan off, guess what you have to do? You have to take the transmission out first, then you have to take the engine out, then you have to put it on a stand, turn it around, and remove that one bolt that's right below where the timing chain is, which means that whole engine's coming out. And then these guys wonder why these mechanics are quitting one after the other. They're fed up with it. And then you have this, the data gatekeeper battle. The most highly contested issue is the telematics, the wireless data your car generates and transmits. Automakers argue this data is proprietary and restricted for cyber security reasons, effectively forcing owners to use dealerships for repairs. You see? Right back to the dealership again, aren't we? People are getting fed up with it because the dealers, so they say, are charging up to $250 an hour. And the mechanics are getting what? $45 out of an hour of that pay. They're making nothing. That's a good salary, by the way. Most of these mechanics, so they say here, are only making around $35 an hour. So why would you stay? All these mechanics are just leaving. And we're going to watch one of these little videos here, and we're going to see what this guy has to say about it.
This is why people don't want to be fucking technicians anymore, and they're tired of this bullshit. You gotta do all this. You gotta take all this shit out. You gotta take all that shit out, just so you can... change the fucking one little bolt right there.
No way.
You gotta do all that just so you can change one fucking bolt right there. Fuck this thing.
So this is getting out of hand, and just like he said, you have to remove everything just to get to one single bolt. And then they wonder why. You know, it's not going to work, guys. You've got to do something different here. You have to, because this is unsustainable. Now we get to Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, I believe. And he is responding to a question that was given to him by the media. Let's just have a look at this one for a minute. Let's listen to what he says.
I think Ford's position is very reasonable. We're really a big advocate for the ability to repair a vehicle, but it has to be done at a reasonable cost.
But you don't want people repairing their own vehicles?
No, that's fine. Not for warranty work, though. These are very complicated cars, and we don't think that's safe for many of the repairs on our vehicles. Someone at home like myself could never do it. I mean, I have no problem working on a 73 Bronco. But to work on a brand new Bronco, I need all sorts of specialty tools. That's something that, we would put people's lives at risk.
So I hope you guys all heard that. Now, Jim is saying that they want you to take the car to the dealer because it's unsafe. Can you believe this? And proprietary software again. So he says the tools, all the scanning tools and all the equipment that you need to fix these new vehicles, well, you're not going to have that, so you have to take it to us. But then she asks him another question, and he says, Yes, you can fix it yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it. So again, this proprietary software, it's all designed so that you and the mechanics cannot fix your own vehicle. So who owns the vehicle then? Who owns your vehicle? Do you own it? Does the state own it? Or does Ford own it? Did you hear 90% of a certain turbo engine has been recalled in the United States? So again, why don't these companies build these engines to work? Because they're losing all this money having to replace every engine. And then another question we should ask our viewers. So do you actually own your own vehicle, or do you have a loan on it? In other words, do you have financing on your vehicle, or do you own it, or did you pay cash? And what is the monthly payment that you're making? Because we're going to roll a video here and just show you what others are saying about this. And it's very disturbing.
Auto loan debt is the highest it's ever been, with nearly 1 in 5 borrowers having a car payment of over $1,000 a month.
Car loan crisis.
Delinquency rates are rising faster.
An increase of more than $1,000.
More than 2 million cars were repossessed last year.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Steve-O Got Me Rolling. Today I got the homegirl Nay approved on this 22 Dodge Challenger.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I was bartending, but they promoted me to an hourly manager.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to get a nicer car.
You paid a total of $97,196.69 for a Toyota Highlander. That's with interest, taxes, fees, and everything. Yes.
What was the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
Yeah, that'd have been the Navigator. $112,000 Navigator with 10 grand in negatives, 12.9% in interest, $3,000 a month. What was it, like $50K in interest? Crazy money.
What's the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
It'd have to be $70,000 Ford F-150. He signed out 19.9% interest, and I believe he signed out a $2,000 payment. I was flabbergasted.
Jillian, what is the worst monthly payment and rate that you've ever seen?
$2,500 a month with 6.7%.
What is the highest monthly payment and interest rate combination you've ever seen?
23 and a quarter here in Minnesota. It was on about a $15,000 Camry. Payment wasn't outrageous. It was maybe like $500, but the interest on that loan was almost as much as the car. I think it was about 12 or 13 grand on a $15,000 vehicle.
What is the worst interest rate and payment combination you have ever seen?
Ooh, I think it was like a 2012 Equinox that was just totally clapped out for like $4 grand. They signed out at 23.5% for, I believe it was 36 months at $182 a month. The total amount of interest over the course of the loan, I think, was a little bit less than the actual price of the car. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What is the worst payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
24 Bronco Sport, 18% for 60 months, $700 monthly payment.
What is the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
$9,000 Kia Forte, 21% interest and $415 a month.
Hello.
Hey, this is Yusuf, the car dealer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
Great, thank you for asking. Thank you so much for calling me back, too.
Absolutely. So I'm calling about the Maserati that you were trying to get rid of. Break it down for me if you don't mind.
It is $20K upside down, you told me. I have great credit, so it's like $750. I do have money down, but obviously based on the situation I talked to you about, I would like to not put so much down if I don't have to, just because I don't know what the future looks like right now. This every day, and I really appreciate you taking the time to guide me.
Absolutely. So you do have a great interest rate. I mean, 5%. So you owe around $41,000. Wholesale on that car is between, like I said, that range is going to be between $20,000 to maybe $23,000 on the top end. So you are $20,000 upside down. Here's the problem, right? You got great credit, you got good income. I know you're trying to move. The problem is unless you put a significant amount of money down, your negative equity is going to transfer over to a different car.
So again, now these people are paying up to $1,900 a month just for the vehicle. And then they have another $1,000 to $1,200 insurance on that vehicle. And then we have this other video that we're going to show you here, and it's going to show all of the cars that are sitting there waiting for repair. They've been there for 2 to 6 months at this one dealership. And this is apparently a plague all the way through the United States.
America's repair system is cracking, and most drivers will not notice until their own car dies. Vehicles are sitting outside shops for days, sometimes weeks, because there are not enough skilled mechanics left to fix them. The shortage is now counted in the hundreds of thousands, while repair bills keep rising and wait times keep stretching. But mechanics did not disappear overnight. They were buried in tool debt, trapped by flat rate pay, punished by warranty labor times, crushed by modern car complexity, and blamed for bills they barely profit from. America broke its fixers, and now every driver will feel it. The mechanic shortage is not some future problem waiting around the corner. It is already showing up in service departments, independent shops, fleet garages, dealership networks, and family driveways across the country. The clearest symbol is brutal. 6,000 Ford dealership bays without technicians. Not 600, not 60. 6,000 places where a vehicle could be repaired, but there is no qualified worker standing there to do it.
The thing is that's why mechanics are quitting. So again, you take your car to the dealer, and because it's the only place you can take it, then have them have a look at what's going on with all those modules. Could be 200 of them, could be 250 of them, could be 90, who knows? And they hide them in these places where you will never find them. That's the other thing, right? So only these dealers are going to know where it was. They're not going to put this on all data for the mechanics to find. No, not a chance. That's why mechanics are packing up and leaving, because they're fed up with the whole thing. I don't blame them. Would you be a master technician for $45 an hour? I don't think so. And this other mechanic we'll have a look at, let's just listen to what he says about customers, and after you've repaired the vehicle, try to get the money out of them. That's the other thing, because these vehicles are so expensive to repair. Just a transmission, it's going to cost you $2,500. And that's just for the transmission and the parts. Now you have to put it in. And those cars are sitting there, waiting to be picked up. He doesn't know what to do. And that's another reason why these mechanics are quitting. So let's just have a listen to this.
We got a transmission for this thing straight from the dealership, and the transmission alone cost us about $2,700. Now, when you factor in other costs like programming and fluid and labor, we probably had about $3,500 in this job in total. Now, we didn't have the job sold for much more than that, and I can't remember the exact figure, but it doesn't matter anyways because we did not collect the money. And the only way we could collect the money now was to get the title for this vehicle and try to get it in sellable condition and get our money back out of the resale value. Long story short, we did not get our money back. We only got about $2,700 for this vehicle after months of it sitting on our lot for sale.
So, as this guy said, they're fed up with it. The mechanics are walking off as well because they are not being paid by the customers who had authorized the vehicles to be repaired, and yet they're not picking them up. They're just leaving them there. So what's he going to do with them? It's a lot of money. So now these cars are being left at the mechanics yard. They're not picking them up. They don't have the money.